So coming up, we have the Amateur Photographers Club of Lexington, and they
Hang on a minute, I accidentally muted you.
okay, got it.
That's better.
And so actually this Thursday, they are going out in the community and doing photography out in the community. So if you're interested in that, be sure to go to ckcs.org and look at the meeting schedule, and it will tell you where they're meeting and what time they're meeting. But usually they meet at CKCS on Moore Drive.
Brookie,
And then, yes,
this week they're going out at the Ellersby Lake with where they
Okay.
had the eagles and some other birds.
okay, great. And people can get the details if they'll go to the website. Okay, and Joe, you've got a special interest group coming up.
Yeah, this next Tuesday, 7 o'clock at CKCS in person. We're going to be talking about Corel Paint Shop Pro 2023. Paint Shop's been really, Corel's been really good with us, giving us programs to use in our computers. And so we like to use them. They've got really a lot of great stuff. And we'll be talking about that. And this month's photo contest is amusement park rides. And if you're going to submit one of those, submit it to me by April 24th.
Any questions? Okay, just a reminder, on May 6th, we have Dr. Fixit and iHelp. So if you're having issues with your computer or you have questions about your Apple devices, you can meet with some volunteers to help you out from 10 to 12 o'clock on that first Saturday of each month. And a reminder that May's Tech Night is going to be electric vehicles, and you'll have a chance to ride in an EV, and the owners of the EVs will talk to you about electric vehicles, and one person will even let you drive his Tesla. CKCS is on YouTube, and if the recording of the Zoom session turns out well, then we post those on our YouTube channel, and it's at CKCS Videos at CKCS Videos. The easiest way to get to it is to go to our meeting schedule, and here's our meeting schedule. So if you go to our website, you go to the meetings schedule, then right here, you can see that where it says click here. If you click on that link, then it will take you to the CKCS YouTube channel, and that's where you can find some recordings of the Zoom meetings we've had. So that's the easiest way to get to it. Okay, any questions? Pretty clear? Okay. All right. We have announced our summer workshops. We have 7 of them coming up starting in June. And we're just doing 3-hour workshops, 2-hour workshops, a variety of them, but we're not doing, weekly classes. We're just doing a workshop. So we have Introduction to Windows 11. We have Using Your iPhone Camera to the Max. Great apps for your iPhones, just a variety of apps that we found helpful. Fixing up your photos using Faststone. I'll be doing the Apple Watch Tips class again, workshop. And then the new things in iOS 16 for the iPhone, and then using the Apple iCloud for your iPhone and iPad. So registration starts April 24th, so you can either call in, give a credit card, or do it online on our website, or come in and pay with a check or credit card. Okay, so everything that I've talked about this evening is in our newsletter, so you might want to check it out. You can find it on our website. It's on the left-hand tab. You'll find it, just says newsletter, and you'll be able to see the most recent newsletter. Okay, so at this point in time, we're gonna go ahead and get into our program, and I am going to turn it over to Kurt.
You're muted, Kurt. You're muted, Kurt. Unmute yourself. Or I'll do it.
No, you can't do it, Joe.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I
I
can.
can hear you now.
Okay. I just finished teaching Secure Your Mac class that talked about things you can do to keep your computer safe, different tips. And one of the things we spent quite a bit of time on was VPNs. Some people don't believe in them. Some people believe in them strongly. I just wanted to tell you what they are, what they're about if you don't use one. They really became popular during COVID, when more and more people were working in motel rooms because they had better Wi-Fi there than they did at home. And also when they had to work at home, a lot of times companies, universities, schools wanted to make sure the connection was secure. Well, let me share my screen with you. Can everybody see my screen? It's blue.
Yep.
Yes, we
Okay.
can.
Can you see
Yep.
this? This, I have some website addresses, URLs that I can send you if you're interested in this. Tom's Guide is one of my favorite websites in terms of reviews of all kinds of things. Here they look at some VPNs, which stands for Virtual Private Network. And in a nutshell, it puts your internet signal in a tunnel so other people cannot see what you're doing. Their prying eyes can't watch what you're doing on the internet. A lot of times if you're in a motel, you're at an airport, you're in a restaurant, whoever controls the Wi-Fi potentially has the power to see what you're doing on your computer, on your iPhone, on your Android phone, on your iPad. Not always, and not everybody's like that. Not everybody's bad. Most people are good, but you do run into people that do that. Anyway, this is a good article, and I could send you the website address, the URL. They go through this. It's lengthy, but they go through all this stuff about why they review different ones. And it's good reading just to see what they have to say. I want to show you just a portion of a real quick YouTube video that basically in a nutshell explains it. Just going to show you a little thumbnail sketch of this.
You probably heard of a VPN before. It's even possible you've used one before, but do you know what it does? A VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, which basically means it gives you privacy online. Originally, VPNs were only used in business settings where big businesses, organizations, or governments wanted to secure their data. Since people worked remotely and needed to connect online, businesses needed to create a secure connection. Otherwise, they were at risk for hacking or other loss of data. Nowadays, VPNs are used by everyone, specifically because it ensures your location stays private, your data is encrypted, and that you can surf the web anonymously. But how does it work? Let's back up for a second to understand how the internet works. When you visit a site like Facebook or Twitter, you type in the domain name. That domain is basically a nickname for the website's IP address. An IP address is just like your home address, only it consists of numbers and not street names. Since it's much easier to remember names than a string of numbers, we give websites domain names and a server translates them. Your computer has an IP address too, and so does every device browsing the internet. When you type in the website's domain name on your browser, whether you're using Chrome, Firefox, or even Internet Explorer, you send your data into the internet until it reaches a server. That server then translates the data and sends you back the website you requested. The problem is when you send that data to the server, you're sending them your IP address and a lot of other information too. This is where hackers can intercept your information. Imagine you're sitting in a coffee shop using their public Wi-Fi on your phone and you want to check your bank account. Someone else with a laptop can easily log into the network and get a hold of your passwords, emails, and other information you might have. But if you use a VPN, they won't be able to access that.
Okay, this does not happen all the time, and it's just depends on the situation, but I just like to show that there's more to that video, obviously, but it kind of tells you what a VPN is and why you might want to use one. I used to use NordVPN. I switched over to something called Surfshark, and I'm actually connected here. This is what it looks like, the interface. It's an app. You buy one, you pay typically a yearly fee or a monthly fee for one of your devices, like for your iPad or your iPhone or your Mac or your Windows PC, and then it comes free on the other device. It's usually through an app store. You choose the city that you want to connect to. I normally choose one that's close. I don't go through Albania, but it shows you all the different countries. That Surfshark, by the way, Surfshark is owned by NordVPN. They bought them, but they're going to keep it as a separate virtual private network. It's just an app. It's an app that I downloaded and installed. I did research ahead of time, and I said, you know, I think I could handle the price, and I like it. Why did I switch from NordVPN? Because it was time for auto renewal to renew it, and the price was really high, and I said, I'm not going to pay that. And Surfshark, which they own, was a lot less expensive, so I decided to go that route. One thing that a lot of people use VPNs for is to watch programming that is not available in their country. I don't do that. It's not illegal, but people that provide streaming services like Netflix, Acorn TV, HBO Plus, Peacock, Paramount, BritBox, all the different services don't want you to do that. But anyway, you can use this if you want to be able to watch programming that's not yet available in your country. And also, reporters, for example, use this in China, so they can actually connect to the internet without the government interfering with them. That's another use for a VPN. But basically, they're a way they put your internet signal in a tunnel, no matter where you are, and they protect you from prying eyes. Do you need one? It's up to you. I've heard people that have installed one on their iPhone and they couldn't get their apps to work. Well, if that happens, you disconnect the VPN and connect again and see if you can get the thing to work. I haven't had any problems in that regard, but you can see it says I'm encrypted. Right now, I have an IP address that says I'm in Charlotte. I normally choose Charlotte or St. Louis are my two favorite. Latham, I think I looked it up. It's in New York. I don't know why that, but anyway, these are closer. Could I choose Egypt? Yes, but it's further away. Does it slow down my signal, my internet signal? Hardly at all. Watch, I'm going to go to Google News. Okay, and there it is. And it's slowed down more by Zoom than it is by the VPN. But that's basically a VPN, what they're about. If you're interested in getting one, why you might want to get one, you buy one for one device and you can install it free on your other devices generally. One other thing I should mention while I'm sharing my screen and then I'm done is Mullvad VPN, which is a well-known VPN, highly rated, based in Sweden, has begun offering a secure browser, very much like DuckDuckGo, for free. You can get it for the Mac, download it, install it. There's one for Windows, there's one for Linux, and it's built on Firefox. But it's very secure, and that's what they're all about. But it's a free browser. If you want to use it, it's free, and it's good to have browsers that are not sharing your information. One thing that bothers me is I read in 2017 where Congress approved a bill and the president signed it that allows your internet service providers to sell your information when you're on the internet. So when you're on using a browser and you're surfing something, you're looking at drug costs, or you're looking at, you know, different things about medicine or trips somewhere. They can look at all of your web viewing and sell it for advertising. And personally, I think that's backwards. I think they shouldn't be able to sell my personal information unless I opt in and give them permission. But Congress didn't see it that way and they approved a bill. And so anything you do on the internet, unless you're on a VPN that you trust, is fodder for your IPN to use to sell about you. And we don't even know what's going on. That's the thing. It's done in the background and nobody tells you. On Tuesday, they saw that you went to Travelocity. On Wednesday, they saw that you're looking at EV cars, electric cars. Why do they need to know that? Because they want to make money. So anyway, that's a short thumbnail sketch of VPNs. I wouldn't personally be without one. I would not go to an airport like Atlanta, Nashville, Cincinnati, Louisville, Lexington, Indianapolis, and use their Wi-Fi, their free Wi-Fi, without being on a VPN, because I don't know who's controlling it. Also, I don't do banking unless I'm home on my own Wi-Fi with a VPN turned on. You know, I don't pay my credit cards, that kind of thing. There's too much stuff out there currently with people trying to get your information, and I don't think they need to know. For example, I have told people that my sister died from breast cancer. She was an adopted sister. I loved her dearly right before COVID hit. She fought it for 12 years. And during that period of time, I did searches on the web about breast cancer because I didn't know a lot about it. Does my ISP need to know that I was doing research on breast cancer? So you know where I'm coming from then, kind of get my drift. But if you're interested in a VPN, I can send you that document. It's a PDF, and it just kind of talks, you know, gives you an idea, that Tom's Guide. You can read, learn more about them if you're interested. Thank you, everybody.
Kurt, two questions for you. One is, can you share that on the chat?
Sure.
Okay, and then the second one is, what's the cost for the one that the Shark, what was it, Surfshark?
Surfshark is $2.30 a month. And there's a yearly plan or a 2-year plan where it's less expensive.
Oh, that's very reasonable.
It's one of the highly regarded ones. The speeds are really fast. It has a lot of countries where it has servers, and it keeps no logs. It has no idea what you're doing. And that's important, that they don't keep logs. There are some very expensive ones that are also very good. There's a whole slew, and you just do your research and find one that works for you in terms of cost. They don't keep logs. And where are they based? Most of these are not based in the US because of there's something called the Five Eyes and the Nine Eyes. They share information. Well, this is actually based, Surfshark before NordVPN, which is based somewhere in South America or Central America, bought them, is based in the Netherlands. And they've signed an agreement that they don't abide by I think it's the Nine Eyes thing, where you understand what I'm talking about. All this information is shared about average people. What are they doing on the internet? What are they viewing? That kind of thing. And I don't go to websites that are gross or anything, but I don't think it's anybody's business, that I'm doing aviation camp. It's actually pretty boring if they want to, but anyway. Does that help?
Oh, yeah. Oh, if you purchase that, can I put that on my phone, my tablet, and my computer, and my wife's phone that is not Apple?
You typically you pay for one license, and you can put it on everything. It depends on the VPN. Surfshark lets you have unlimited simultaneous connections. So if you've got an Android phone, you got an iPhone, you got a Windows PC, you got a Mac, and you've got a some other device, iPad or a Surface tablet, you can have them on all those. And
For
the
the
thing
one
you have to remember, for one price that you're paying, exactly. You download it on, now you have to make sure the one that you want has that, does that, allows that. Most of them do, but you just make sure. And do you want to get it from the App Store? Do you want to buy it from the company's website? Is it cheaper to go on the company's website and buy it for 2 years than it is to get it from the App Store? It's all over the place, and all these apps are all, and sometimes you can find codes online that will let you save money. As you check out after you download it, it'll say enter a code and you'll be able to, some people don't believe in them, but I think if you find a good one, I think it will protect you. In this day and age, I just don't like being on my phone or my iPad in a public area using public Wi-Fi that I don't have any control over.
Does it interrupt many apps?
I'm sorry.
Does it interrupt many apps?
Does it have ads?
No, interrupt many apps.
Oh, are there many apps?
No, that it interrupts.
Does it interrupt your apps?
Oh, no, it's
Okay.
seamless. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Steve. You just turn it on and you leave it on, and sometimes you even forget it's on, and you do whatever you're doing on the computer or I leave it on my iPhone all the time, 24/7. I just leave the VPN running. Even though I might be going through cellular service here, I don't know, I might be here and it tries to connect to this Wi-Fi someplace. So I just leave it on for example. I know people who leave them on their laptops too. They shut their laptop off and they turn off the app first, and they shut it off. And then they turn it on when they want to use their laptop again. And that's how they use it. So do your research is what I always tell people. Do your research before you pick one, and pick a good one for you that you can afford. And they're worth it, I think. So.
I've
Okay,
got a
any other
question.
questions? Oh,
Yeah, I've got a question, Kurt. Is there any danger using public Wi-Fi if you're just reading the news and, not doing banking or anything like that?
That's a good question. And the answer is it depends on where you are, because you don't have any control over that Wi-Fi signal. Is there a nefarious person? Is there somebody there who is trying to get into people's laptops and iPads and iPhones and Android phones at that location? And they may try to get into your system. It depends. Has your operating system like iOS, has it been updated to the latest version? And, it's an unknown. A VPN will prevent that. They'll go on to somebody else. As soon as they say, oh, I can't get in there, it's not worth, I've only done banking one time. It was in Louisville at Bowman Field. We were there for aviation camp, and my credit card was due that day. And I said, good grief, I forgot to pay this before I left the house. So we're in Louisville at Bowman Field, the small airport there, and I was connected to their Wi-Fi, and I paid my credit card bill on my phone, but I made sure my VPN was connected first. I'm on, I've got a good connection. Then I paid the bill, and no big deal, because nobody could see anything except the VPN, and I trust them. So a lot of these companies also will give you trials. You can use them for 2 weeks. You can use them for a month without paying, and then you can terminate it and delete the app if you don't want it. That's also a good option to test it and to see if it messes up your Wi-Fi on your phone, or what messes up your signal. But I haven't really had any trouble with them. I've only used 2, NordVPN, which is one of the largest. And as I mentioned, I use Surfshark now, and they just bought Surfshark, and it's one of the lesser expensive ones. I would not go with a free one. There are a lot of free VPNs. The only free VPN I would ever go with is one called Proton, Proton. They also make a secure email service. They're excellent. A lot of these free VPNs actually are from China. And Americans don't realize this. They're sucking up all your information and using it putting it in databases in China, and you don't even know it. And they're free VPNs. I mean, so I would really still steer clear of those. Mozilla makes a very good VPN, which makes Firefox. That's another one that a lot of people don't know about. So does it cost money? Yes. Is it super expensive? No. Is it worth it? I think so, but that's just my 2 cents, and I'll shut up.
Okay, all right, let's move on to Joe. Joe is gonna talk a little bit about the Apple Maps.
Okay, with the new iOS 16, Apple incorporated a bunch of new stuff into their maps. It's really, really nice. For example, let's say you're going on a trip out of state and you type in the destination, you know how it works. It gives you the mileage and the distance and the time and all that. But then you realize you want to make another stop in between there somewhere, and you put that in there. It'll calculate that and maybe another stop. You could also use this if you're in town and you got 6 errands to run. You got to go to Kroger's, you got to go to Lowe's, you got to go to Sam's, you got to go to Myers. You could put all these in and tell it which order you want them to go, and it really works nice. So I'm going to demonstrate that right now. Where'd my phone go? If I can find my phone, let me share my phone here. Okay. Everybody see that okay? Okay.
Yep.
Let me get the annotator. Okay, first thing we're gonna do, this is using Apple Maps. And you getting feedback, anybody?
Yeah, I'm getting the feedback. I'm gonna mute all of us.
Yeah, what?
Okay. I think that got it. I think that was Kurt that was doing that. But anyway, okay, so first thing we're gonna do here is open Apple Maps. And we get this, and usually, let me wipe this one out. Oh dear. Okay, Brookie, how do I get rid of that?
Go ahead and swipe up to close it out.
I did, but it came back.
Okay.
Oh. We'll get this in a minute.
Okay, have you ended route?
Yeah. Okay, so this is where you usually start up. And the first thing I'm going to do is I want to go to Crone Conservatory in Cincinnati. So I'm going to start typing in my search box here. Once I tap in there, my keyboard will come up. And I'm just going to go in and start typing KROHN. And there sometimes it'll pop right up and you can see it. But this one here is Crone Conservatory. So I'm going to put that in there. And you notice now that it's saying it's going to take me 1 hour and 27 minutes to get there. So now I realize I also want to stop at a nursery up in northern Kentucky. So I'm going to go and start my route. I'm going to tap on the blue icon. And then it says my location. And then it says Crone Conservatory and add a stop. So I'm going to tap on add a stop. And I'm going to tap go to a place called Reminiscent Farm Nursery. I'll start typing. And it's right there, Reminiscent Herb Farm. And now I've got my trip as 1 hour and 46 minutes, 106 miles with one stop. But I also want to stop in Sadieville to check on a couple of things. So I'm going to add a stop, and I'm going to tap in here, start typing, and Sadieville. And now I've got 2 hours and 32 minutes on my trip going in this order. But I realized I really want to go to Reminiscent Herb Farm first. So what I do, you see these 3 lines over here. That's a standard icon in Apple. And I'll touch it, and I'm going to move it up. So now on my trip, I'm going to go start with driving to Reminiscent Herb Farm. And from there, I'm going to Crone Conservatory. And on the way back from there, I'm going to stop in Sadieville. The whole trip will take 2 hours and 33 minutes. And it's really a nice way to put your information in there before you go. And then you can forget about it because it's right there in your maps and easy to talk to you. Okay. Any questions on that?
Hey, Joe, I missed something. When you put the Crone Conservatory in, and then you said, hit this little blue icon, I think you said.
Yeah, it's the one with showed the mileage.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A little blue box, probably a better term. Yeah. So you hit that blue
Oh, okay,
box,
yeah.
and then you can add another stop. You can, I don't know how many you can add, but if you got several places to go, you pop them in here, put them in the order you want, jump in the car and go to the first one, do what you need, get back in the car, and it's ready to take you to the next one.
Yeah, that's what I needed. Thanks.
Okay.
Hey, Joe,
Mhm.
also, when you're planning this out, is it starting at your home location or the location you're at when you creating this listing?
The location I am at.
Okay. You could be out of the state when you set one of these up.
Yes, if you're out of the state, you just, it's going to know where you are. Of course, that's how it figures out how to get to where you're going. And from wherever you are, you start saying, I want to go here or I want to go there. And then it'll direct you there. It works pretty well. Okay. That was easy.
Okay, all right. Now you're going to show us something about the iPhone messages. I mean,
Yes.
iPhone calls.
Okay, when you are on your phone, let me change my home screen here. Yeah, that's the one I want. Okay, and you're on your phone and you get a phone call, rookie. You see here where it says message on my screen? If I tap on that, I get some options here. Can I call you later? I'm on my way. Or sorry, I can't talk right now. So if you tap on one of those, it will automatically send the phone call to your voicemail. So you don't have to deal with it right now. But let's just say we wanted to put a different message in there. So everybody can do this with me if you've got your phone handy. But you just go to your settings and you can tap on settings right there. Oops. And once you get into settings, then you have to scroll until you find your iPhone or your phone, and you'll tap on that. Once you tap on that, you can respond. Down here, it says respond with text. Okay. So if you tap on respond with text, you'll see the messages. They're kind of faded out here, grayed out a little bit. These are the ones that you saw pop up. So if I wanted to change one of these, I'm going to take that last one. I'm going to tap in the box. My keyboard will come up, and I'm going to say, I will call you in 5 minutes. And once I've got that typed in, I just have to go back at the top of your screen. And now, if I was to get a phone call and then tap on messages here, you notice the new one up here, I will call you in 5 minutes. So you can set this up any way you want. You have 3 different options. And I like to have little different ones than the ones that they have there. So that's a neat little tool. Any questions on that?
Joe,
Yes.
my sister, and now I'm finding out maybe this is what she did. She lives in Philadelphia and she does a lot of driving on the Schuylkill Expressway. And I would always get a message, I'm driving right now. We'll call you when I get to my destination. Is this where she probably did it?
No. That's Rookie, help. Is that
The
under
number one?
focus? Is that a focus?
Oh goodness, I don't know if it's a focus. Go ahead and let's, I don't know.
Sorry. I thought maybe,
Yeah, I haven't used it. Janet, do you remember how you got that on yours?
Okay, yeah, go to your,
It's on focus,
Oh, yeah. it is
Okay.
on
under focus, driving focus.
if you go to your control center, and many of you have had classes, so I'm going to swipe down from the top right and see where it says personal right here, that's on. I'm going to tap on that. And then down there, you've got some options. Focus is basically a do not disturb. And so I go down and tap on driving. And then you can, in your settings somewhere, I guess it's under focus, but you can set it so your phone recognizes when you're driving. And then when a phone call comes in, it will say, I'm driving, I will call you when I get back or when I quit driving. And then whenever is driving, quits driving, they have a message to call you.
thank you. That's good to have these 2 options. Thank you.
Yes, okay. All right, Rookie, that's, unless anybody else has a question.
Joe,
Okay.
can you put that will it stay in there now? If you say I'm driving, will it stay in there? Do you change it?
Yes,
Okay. Thank you.
I'll verify that, but I'm pretty sure it's right.
Okay.
Okay, all right, let me,
Also, Joe, you said that it recognizes that you're driving?
yes. For example, sometimes I might pick up the phone while I'm driving and it'll say, you shouldn't do that when you're driving. It's smart.
Or maybe Bluetooth in your car, when it's connected?
I'm not sure how it does it.
Yeah, okay.
I think you're right. I think it may be Bluetooth connected to your car. It knows.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank
All right, I'm going to stop sharing here. All right, where'd it go?
I made you stop share. I think, possibly.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen at this point. Now I've lost the controls. Okay. It's thinking about it.
There you go.
Okay. I don't see it, so let me see if I can find it. It's behind one of my screens here. Let me try to find it. Okay. So what I'm going to talk about tonight is the virtual keyboard, because there's a lot of things behind the keyboard. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the keyboard, and I'm going to show it in notes. But if you're using the keyboard in any other application, it's pretty much the same. It has the same features, but in notes, it has the most. So I'm going to actually go to my notes app right here. Okay, and I'm going to tap it, and it's bringing up a new note. And once I do that, I can tap my screen, and when I tap my screen, it pulls up the keyboard. So, all right, to start, I'm just going to show you some of the things, and then I will demonstrate them. This little icon here is to undo, and this one is to redo. This one is paste. I've obviously done a cut, so it's showing that up here. And then this space right here is the predictive keyboard. So it's trying to think what you might want to be saying, okay? And so it will have words up there, and it may be what you are thinking. It's pretty it's pretty good. So as we start typing, you'll see that. Then this icon means that you can insert a table, and this icon right here, the double A's, that is format. So if I tap that, this is where you see your formatting tools for your writing. And like most, any word processing that you have some that has the title, heading, subheading, body, and monospacing, okay? And then you've got bold, italicize, underline, and strike through. So those are all formatting tools that you have under this icon. And then you have bullets here. And then you have dashes here, numbers, and then justification. All right. In notes, you just have left and right justification. Okay, I'm going to go back up here and get rid of that. Okay. Then if you look at my keyboard, the default when you open a keyboard is it has the capital letters. There's capital letters there. This icon right here is your shift key. So that when you tap it one time, it will go, if you notice, all small letters. Okay. And if I tap it twice very quickly, it's caps, and I can just type, as many capital letters as I want. So if I'm going to type CKCS, then they're all capitalized. I've obviously left on the underline, so I'll go and take that off. And I'm going to go ahead and make it body. Okay. All right. So that makes your letters just stay in all caps. So I'll tap that off. The other interesting point here is that you have down here a numbers keyboard down at the bottom left. And if I tap that, you get another keyboard that comes up that are numbers and symbols. And then you also have this square right here has changed to additional symbols and numbers. So you've got two of those keyboards. But the neat thing in the iPad that the iPhone doesn't have, because the iPhone screen is too small for this, is that you also have these little faint numbers here on the letter keyboard. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way. And then you have some of the symbols that are on the symbol keyboard. So you have those right there so that you don't have to switch back and forth. If you're typing something that has numbers and letters, you can do it very easily. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. If you have picked additional keyboards like I have, you'll have a world, a globe down here, okay? And if I tap it, you see that I have an English, an emoji, and a Spanish keyboard. So I can switch. So if I want to write something in Spanish, I can choose that one. And then the emoji one, if I want to add the emoji, it goes to all the emojis that I can add to it. Okay, and then to get back to the letters, I just tap the ABC. Okay. All right, so that's the basic keyboard. There's one more thing over here. Well, there's two things. One at this bottom corner is I can put the keyboard down. So if I need to see something on my page, I can get rid of the keyboard. And then I can just tap the screen and the keyboard will come back up. And then also up here, you do have the backspace button. So you can backspace to get rid of. And of course, the return button. Okay, so that's kind of an overview of the keyboard.
Are you going to show how to activate those numbers?
Yeah, I'm going to do that in a second. Okay, so I'm going to start typing something here and let me get it. And we'll see. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to type up here is I'm going to write to-do list. So I actually want that in all caps. So I'm going to go down here to the shift. I'm going to double tap it, and then I'm going to type in to-do list. Okay, so they're all caps. And if I wanted to underline it, I could double tap it and highlight it by just dragging those little handles and go over here to the format tool and tap underline. And then it's underlined. Okay, I'm going to hit a return. I'm going to take off the underline. And I want this to be a to-do list. Now, not all of the keyboards come up with this because this is in notes, but if you're in reminders, it automatically comes up. But here at the top, you have some other, you have another option, and that is to put little circles there. So I'm going to tap that, and a circle comes up where I can have kind of a check off for my to-do list. And so the first thing I'm going to say I'm going to do is I'm going to write buy flowers for $12 at Kroger mañana. All right. So I'm going to go ahead, and you notice I've got caps up. So once I hit the cap, it then, but I had I had it frozen to all of them. So once I hit the capital B, then it goes back to the small letters. And then, okay, now I need the dollar sign. Okay, I could actually go to the numbers and the symbols down here, but I don't have to do that because I have the dollar sign right here in gray. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my finger on that. I'm going to slide my finger down, and you'll see that the dollar sign will show up, and then it will show up here. Okay. So I'm going to put my finger on there, slide down, see the dollar sign shows up, and I let go, and there it is. Okay, so it makes it really easy. You don't have to switch back and forth between the keys. And the same thing with the one. I'm going to put my finger on the one, slide down, and then put it on the two, slide down. Okay, And then I'm not going to put at, I just want the at symbol, and the at symbol is right here. And I just put my finger on it, drag down, and there it is. And then I'm going to do a capital Kroger space, and I made a mistake. So to fix that mistake, you can try to use your finger and tap on the word and try to get the cursor to move over, but there's a lot easier way. And that's, that's another secret of the keyboard too. I'm going to put my finger down here on the space bar. Okay. And when I do, I'm going to hold it there, and you notice that my keyboard disappears. So now I can move my cursor. And so I'm just going to move it over here. Okay, I want to get rid of that T. I'm going to hit my back key, and I'm going to type in the R. I've got several mistakes, so I'm just going to hold my finger down again, get rid of the keyboard, and then I'm going to move the cursor to where I want it. I'm going to put a space in there. Okay, so it's really an easy way to move your cursor around. I'm going to go back here, put in another space, and then I'm going to type in mañana. But I need a tilde over the N. So when I go down here to the N, there are hidden symbols behind these letters. So I'm going to put my finger on that, and you notice right above it, I get an accent mark and a tilde. Okay, and I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to drag it up. That's going to be highlighted. I'm going to let go, and then I have the Inya. Okay. Okay. So then if I want to get my period very quickly, I don't have to look for it down here. I can just hit my space bar 2 times, and it will automatically add a period. Okay, so there are some of the key ones. When you're looking at the keypad here, there are several letters that have extra symbols. So I'm going to go ahead and show you E. Okay, E has a lot of the different symbols that go with E. And that's true with all of the vowels. The vowels all have accent marks. Okay, it's going to type them up there, but I'm just going to show you the different ones. Okay, see the box that shows up. So if I want one, just drag my finger up, and whichever one I want, I just hold it there and let loose. So that's how you get those extra accent marks. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do another line, and I'm going to write preheat oven to, and then I need 350 degrees. So I'm going to get the 3 from above the E. Above the E, and I'm going to pull down. Okay. I had pulled the E down, so let me get rid of that. Okay. 350, I'm going to go here, pull it down for the 5 to show up, and I'm going to go to the O, and oh no, that's the wrong one, sorry. I have to go over here to the P where the 0 is. Okay, so I have 350 degrees. Now I want to put degree on it, so I'm going to have to go to my numbers. I'm going to go to the 0 in my numbers, and when I do that, the degree symbol comes up, and I can just drag my finger up and put degrees on there. Okay, so that's where the degree mark is. It is under the 0. Okay. All right, so I think that pretty much displays all of the secret things that are kind of behind your keyboard. Any questions about the keyboard? Okay, all right. Well, that's what I have for tonight too. So I
One
will stop
question.
sharing.
Question.
Yeah. Yes, Jerry.
The question I have is, I assume you're just touching the keyboard. You're not
Yes,
using a corner or anything like that. You're doing this
I'm
on your phone,
I'm using my iPad.
iPad, okay,
Okay, so you're seeing my iPad right here. This is my iPad.
okay.
All right, so you're actually seeing my virtual keyboard. And so when I come down here and hit the return, notice I'm hitting that. And then if I'm putting my name in, I'm just tapping the B, R-O-O-K. And then when I get to my E, if I want people to pronounce it the way I do, I want to put an accent over the E, I will go to my E, then I will drag it up and put an accent on it. Okay, so I'm just putting my finger on there, dragging it up to get the hidden symbols. But if I'm going to my numbers, I'm putting my finger on one of the letters, but I'm pulling it down until I see the number come up, and then I'm letting loose.
Rookie, do you have any dictation ability?
Yes. And that's a really important part right there. See the icon right there
Where,
by the
Microphone,
the
I don't see-
microphone.
where?
just left of the space bar
You
on
see
your
it?
pad.
Okay, I really don't see the space bar much. It's on my screen, I must have the wrong size, because I barely see half a space bar.
Okay, so Jerry,
set it
are
wrong.
you looking at my screen,
Yeah,
my iPad?
yeah,
And are you seeing my space bar?
half of it.
Okay, are you seeing to the left of it something that looks like a microphone?
Well, I don't see all that. I only see half the space bar, the top half. So I guess I got my resolution settings wrong,
Okay.
maybe, probably. I don't know.
Oh.
That's all right. That's all right. I got the idea.
Okay, it's right next to the space bar, and then you just touch it, and then you can just do a dictation.
Okay,
So.
right.
This is, I don't know if it's gonna work, actually. This is the All Things Apple SIG. Period. Laughing emoji. Okay, so you have to be very specific. So let's try that again. Laughing emoji. Okay. So you have to turn it off or it will say everything. So let's try that again. And then I had to say laughing emoji pretty fast. Okay. So I could say cake emoji, heart emoji, cat emoji. Okay, so you can actually dictate the emojis, okay?
Wow, pretty good. Thanks.
All right. That is a new feature of iOS 16. So if you're not running iOS 16.4.1, you might not have it. That's an addition. So, okay, any other questions about the keyboard? Okay, I will stop sharing and then see if you all have any questions for any of us.
Brookie, it's Janet. If Joe would share his phone again, there's one thing maybe everyone would like to see and focus in settings.
We can do that.
Thank you.
Oh, where do you want me to go?
Settings. And then focus.
Let me get my annotator here so I can show everybody where it is. And we scroll down.
It's up in the
Shall
second
we see
section.
focus here? We'll tap on that.
Yes.
And then do not disturb.
Aha.
And one thing that I've done that people may want to think about, there at the top, Joe, well, there's a lot of things, but where it says people, you can add someone, and while you're driving, if they call you, their number will come through. I've put my sister's name there so that if she calls, then I will hear her call and she won't get the automated message. So if you have someone that you always want to receive their call, no matter what, you can add their name there. But then there are other things there, Joe, you may want to talk about, but that's the one thing that I like about Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, that's good if you've got an emergency situation, not at the moment, but if there could be someone needs to call you immediately and you need to take that call right now. And I guess most of us have some situations like this. If you go back here on your screen, go back to focus, then it says driving, and then you could either allow notifications or not. So that's something just to take a look at. Mine's set up to allow calls from my favorites. And okay, down here while driving, activate manually. And you can set it whenever there you go. Where Bev, you said connected to the car Bluetooth.
Yes.
So if I have my manual, if I had it when it's connected to the Bluetooth, then it would not take calls while I'm in the car or while it's connected to Bluetooth in the car.
You know, it's weird because my phone is up to date and I don't have the driving. I just noticed that. I have Do Not Disturb, Sleep, Personal, and Work, but I don't have driving.
What number phone do you have? Do you know?
12.
Should be in there. Mine's 11.
Yeah, I'm surprised because everything's up to date.
Joe, go back one screen. Go back one more, I guess. I
Yeah,
think, look up here where there's the plus mark at the top right and tap the top right blue plus mark. So maybe you can add it, maybe you can add it there. You got it?
Got it. Customize focus. Yep. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep, I got it now. It's in there.
Just send $25.
I'd be happy to. Thank you. It's been very helpful.
Good. Okay, let me see if I can get out of here. Okay.
All right.
And one other thing, Brookie and Joe, in chat, Brookie has added an item that you can download, and Kurt added his. So go ahead and do that now before the session ends, if you want to have those.
Down at the bottom of your screen, you should find the word chat. And once you click on that, you get the chat box come up. and you'll see something from Kurt there and something from Brookie there, and it will give you the option to download it. Okay,
Okay. All right. So,
And Brookie, do you have
oh,
hints on the watch?
say again?
Do you have any hints on the watch? I'm always willing to listen to that if you
Well,
had some
I would,
hints.
the reason I asked if people had the watch, I thought I would experiment with it maybe next month.
Oh,
But
okay.
to do that, I've got to use the special camera that we have at CKCS. So I need to experiment with that, but I will think of something for the watch since we've got several people that have it.
Super. Mhm.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, we see yours, Jerry. All right. Okay. Well, that's all that we have for tonight. If there's something special that you want, you might let us know. You can send me requests at president@ckcs.org. So that's an easy email to remember.